All right, Friday, July 24th, we are back for another video in the stock market, and let's go over what happened today in the market. Let's start off with the top gainers today. We have ASNA, and just looking at this right now, this must have popped up, and really, it did right after 3 p.m. Look at this. ASNA Retail Group. Let's go pre-market. So they had to move pre-market, very light volume. This is like 4:15 a.m. 75-cent level. There's your first level. Went down to 65 cents. So you can see we're working pretty much within 75 to 65 cents. Then you had a little red to green. Nothing crazy here. This is normal in between moves, good candles. And then you have your high a day break, which is going to be 75, and it did all the way up to a high of 122. And there's your line there, 115, a full candle, then it broke down, and all the way found support at 75, and it didn't come down all the way. When you say it come down, but it didn't come down to that 65 level, so that is a bullish sign. This is at 1 p.m., then at 3 p.m., it really broke out right here at 85. I wasn't even paying attention to this, and I just came back to my computer. And this really broke up to 135. Look at that. And let's see the news on this. All right, ASNA. Senior Retail Group receives court approval of first day motions to support business operations. Moody's downgraded following Chapter 11 filing. So there's some motions for business operations. So that, it's positive news. And so you're only looking for a little part of the move here. So even at 65 to 115, that's a nice chunk there. And this was a late move. Look at the volume here. That's very strong volume. That's a late day. You have your pre-market at 9:30 to at 11. That is the bulk of the main action where you're going to have the most explosive moves. And then 12 to 2, usually it dies down somewhat. And then after 2, excuse me, is your late day push. And there we go right there. So this is a nice long on the daily chart. 58 million buy. You want liquidity, you want volume. This is a wedge too, falling wedge right here. And these don't work exactly. The other is going to come up, shoot right up. This one like floated. It got out of the wedge. Then it was at 1. Then it went to 3+, then came back, and then fell all the way back below the wedge. Really strange movement here. So did a 5-minute there. Let's look at the 3-minute. 3-minute was nice too. You had over 65 here. You see that. And come down. Let's look at the 10-minute. 10-minute was nice and smooth. As soon as you had over 65, fell back to the green line is my today's open line. So it held pretty good. And then once you get over 85, there you go. So this was a nice long 8.8 million in float. That's a pretty good float. Anything under 10 million is really small float. Anything under 1 million is like super float. So this is a very good float there. So this is a nice long. Let's go to ENT. This is Global Eagle Entertainment. And let's see here. Global Entertainment stocks trading higher today. Court approval for first day motions to support business operations. Moody's downgrades, following Chapter 11. So same type of thing here. So that's what happened with ENT. And ENT, let's go to, you need to go to the 1 minute here. I never use the 1 minute. You can see here, this really started to move back at 8:30, and you can see the candle straight up. That's a straight up momentum play. 2 minute. 2 minutes even better here. You have 250. You have the stop here, 350. Go to each 50-cent line, and there it was. I still don't like to use the 1 and 2 minute. I like to go as low as 3. But on that, the 1 and 2 minute work. So you can't dispute when something works, but this is the 3. The 3 put in such a big candle here and then took off the 5 minute. I like the 5 minute on this. Was even better because you have the candle right here. And this was a full candle, so you know it's bullish. When you see a full candle pre-market, this is on 52,000. That's a great sign. And then where to come up to? Right to, what was the high here? The high was 290, and the low 274. So you see right here, when you see these this is so, the lines are so tight here. That's why I try to pull it out to a 50-cent line. It's such a small line. But you can go to the 75 line, and you can play that, or you can play the 3 line right here, 3, and give it maybe halfway. Or if you want to give it the full line, see, I'll use small share size for me. I may go like 400 shares here because I'll let it drop to here. I'll let it go to the 50-cent line. We'll see what happens here, even like halfway, and it took off. So when you see a big candle, it's pure momentum. Way above 1320 EMA, and it put in a nice high wick here. And then you have 6 line, and then try to hold 550. And you draw your line here. And this is a classic triangle. It's more of a descending triangle breakdown. And that's what happened, it broke down. So this was all pre-market to move, pure momentum. Like I said, these small caps are moving pre-market. So pre-market is where it's at. And that's the last month they've been playing at. You're getting good moves afterwards. So there's some moves, but you're getting, look, this went from like 2 to 650. Almost 7. What did it touch? 7, yeah, exactly 7. So you don't want to buy here. When the move went from here to here, why would you buy here? You have to at least let it, prove it can break this. It has to prove it can break 650, and it didn't. And this was all chop. It was just too much chop. And that's what happened with that. So ENT, you had a move way back here. It looks like over 1030. And then you have multiple bottoms here at 1, 2. So this was 63 million. We'll see what happens with this. This is probably going to be more volatile in the weeks ahead. So there's a great short after that. See, these candles, this took about, what, like an hour? And this took all day to go down on the short. So that was a nice move, ENT. NTZ, let's take a look at this. All right, NTZ, what do we have a float here of, let me check here. Float, I got 4.78 million. And let me see here, why is Trade Ideas? Yeah, Trade Ideas says 4.78 million. And then I'm looking at FinViz. What is FinViz saying here? Float. 96 million? I mean, 0.96 million. I think they're a little bit off. So anyway, this was another one. That's why I check pre-market. If you're trading small caps, you got to be out pre-market because pre-market's where it's at. That is where you're going to have the most explosive moves besides the open. That's where it's happening lately. And this was weird too. Look at this. This is a 3 minute, over 150 all the way to 3. Look at these candles here. These are really strange. You get some strange moves pre-market. That's the only bad thing. You don't really get these during trading session. This one all the way down. And if you're like in here or here, I mean, you're down big from these wicks. I don't know what's up with these wicks. Really strange action. And it went both ways, so that's just the one downside. So, but I don't even go big size pre-market. So anyway, so here was a move over 150. This is the 5 minute, and then all the way up to 275, 3 plus. They came back down. And enjoy your line here. This was another one. The high kept getting lower, lower. Get some bounces here. This was tough to trade out, choppy, and then it went down fast. This was a little bit better at 165. At least you got to 205. Like, seeing this, look at this candle. It's like taking over like 30, 40 cents. And then wicks are crazy here. It's just all over the place. So this is NTZ. And this is another one. Look at these wicks. The low's been getting higher each time. here, even though it's a mess, you see all these like wicks and spikers, and today 53 million, then it really exploded today. We got above 2, and it touched almost the 250 level. It touched as high as 248. So that was another one. This isn't as good as play as the others. EMAN, let's give it a 3-minute. This wasn't bad, right over 95. Got to 125. Daily chart. Below's been getting higher than this. You have a rounded bottom, rounded bottom, rounded bottom. So that's a nice pattern on the daily. At 47 million today. CYRN, not a lot of volume. Didn't even put in a million volume today, so 987,000. Not a chart I would really trade. OCGN, penny stock, no interest. Ecom, this wasn't bad. Over 18 to 20. Then you had your support. Look where your support is at 20 EMA, which is at, coincidentally, 1850. Look at that. And then broke all the way up to near 22, then came back down. So 5-minute was nice here. At 5 minutes, a sweet spot from the higher, 10, 15, 30, 1, 2, 3. You get a lot of good information on the 5-minute. So move up. Here's your support. There's a hammer candle, then broke up. And your 13 over 20, so that's a nice trade there on ecom for longs. 9.3 million. It's a great long chart right there. So that was solid. And ecom had 49.9 million, so not a small float. CAPR caper. This is a former popper. This popped way back Wednesday, April 29th, and formed a descending triangle, or almost a wedge. It turned into a wedge. And then we broke out of 450 all the way up to 772. So this broke out of it nicely. It's been a good long. And let's look at this one here. So you can draw your line pre-market. Some of these open, I think it's 4 a.m. Never traded that early. 7's the latest. Over 6. Over 625. This is our nice little quarters. There's another 650. This is a long enough. 5-minute easy. 10 minutes even better. You can see a breakout here, and look at that. 13 over 20 EMA. Beautiful long. It was caper, which has 14.1 million. It's a good float there. Nice, pretty low float. TGB. This is Tesco Mines. Let's put in 10 million today. Or no, excuse me, in the 4-hour daily. 18.7 million. So this has been an uptrend too. GNCA. This is a better chart here. So you get your pre-market high. There's your line right at about 380. All red candles, and then your first green. That is a good sign that we're going up, up. You have high a day break. This is a V pattern, which broke 380. And with the 440, and came back and broke up again. You had your 10-minute. Even better here, you see the wick put in here. And a nice little bend here. Your 13 EMA support, 20 EMA support. So that was a nice long too. A higher time frame to stick around longer. It's always tough to do though. Easier said than done. Now here's Chefs, SHFS. This is run. This might go towards the dollar roll soon. SOGO. So go uptrend. Say when a stock's in an uptrend, remember if it's in a nice uptrend like this, odds favor long. So like on this, each time it's going down. You can play inside, intraday, but it's been going long ever since today. It was 10.2 million. Over 520, 540. Not great gains, but it was a nice long. Mogo. 6.4 million. Just put in a huge candle here like a week ago. This is showing a good long. Swirl, no interest. MTMB, no interest in that. Excuse me. AMD. This has been a long since January 19, 2019. Look at this go. You had here, and it came up yesterday and gap filled today, or not gap filled, open gap now on the bull side. So what do we have here? This was nice pre-market too. You had a low, and then a low got higher. You got higher each time. This is the 5 minute. Then you had your high day break, which was at 64, about 33, and we broke up. Came back down again. You draw like an angle here, like a triangle over 66, 69, and that was a good gain. So this was over like a $6 gain on AMD. What we got here, VGZ, this is gold. Look at the volume here, gold's been on fire. 1900 today, I believe. This ain't a great gainer. This goes in like pennies, so very small gainer there. ENGO. Very choppy up and down, but great volume, so that's good for longs. TRTN, MGen, going down the list here. SGMS. I'm looking at this chart and I like it over 16 here, or excuse me, 17. If we break over 17, we could go much higher, so watch that. CAN. This came all the way down. Trend line, forming like around the bottom here. We're coming up. Watch for the break at 250 on CAN. WPRT, I have like the Fibonacci retracement, some of these. Holding the low, then low got higher each time, so that's a nice bullish sign. What else we got here? Taco. Del Taco restaurant, people getting tacos. This thing's on fire. What else we got? Looking down the list, this is a great short. THTX, RRGB. This is Red Robin Gourmet. This might be a sign of this starting to go up here. You draw your line here. So this was in like a channel pretty much, and then it broke down. When we broke that high, remember back in June, came all the way back then. This was as high as 1969. Then we had to a low of about 728. So we're still in stochastics for a long time. This is a nice big green candle here. Trying to open up here. This might continue to go up here. So it's bullish long, it's looking like at this point. MDGS, down support of 150. We'll see if this does some sort of spike. I would watch that. ALDX. This has been a good long. To the long side here. Going down here, see what else we got on the list. BTU. This is showing multiple bottoms here on BTU, about we'll call it 67. And then looks like a line about 4. So that might be interesting next week. Here is BGFV. And there's a classic pattern again. This is one of the most common patterns you're seeing too, like a green candle. The next day, look at that inside candle, hammer or something like that. And the next day we explode. That's a 1-2-1, I call it. 1 green, red, green, 1-2-1. Not great volume, but enough to make a play on. PTE, this is getting into the gap. Showing good long sides. The volume to the long side is much better than the downside. Remember that. SSP, GCI. This is another one. This went down to about 109, going up to 158. It's trying to round back up. MPX. Ardus, Ant, Phaetos, trying to break higher. HMY, RRD. This is RRD, Donnelly and Sons. Control this line here. Yeah, this is a new line. So he had, went all the way down here, bounced. Low got higher, bounced. Low pretty much same, got higher, did another bounce. Will we get up here again? There's a trend line here. We'll see if this breaks through. CPE, this is Callum Petroleum. Just had the big gap fill back in June when all the stocks exploded. Look at that candle. Went to 250, 275 to a T, and then came back down. And then there's your trend line. So everything incorporates together, like here, here, and then here. That's why this held. You have like these touches down here. I draw this a little bit closer. See that? They all connect pretty much. And then this is coming back up. Now, will this trend line, it's been in a downtrend forever. Now, will this go up here and touch maybe like 175, maybe 2? Like, is this a true trend line? Is it we're going to break through and higher? I don't know. We'll see on that. But it looks like we will go higher, though. All right, Mara. Going down the list here. There's UAVS, former spiker. This made many spikes. Spike broke this ascending trend line. The triangle, excuse me, went all the way up to 350. Now we're like going back and forth between 292, 350 level. So this might want to spike again. We'll see what this does. Or if there's some sort of news, it could drop back hard, but it's in between right now. BLMN, Bloomin' Brands. We got my Fibonacci retracement. And your move spike, another spike, there's a month play. These are like a month plays, a month down. Now we're starting to break to the upside. Great buying here, 8 million. From this high candle, we have 1548 to a low candle of 948. So what's that? What did I say? 948. Got 6. 1548. $6 move. So will this come back up at a 50% retracement? Right now, this looks like a head, shoulder, shoulder. This was high above, but this is looking very bullish to the long side. This was a nice trade too. Any trades where you get these like mountains and ridges, like huge spike up, wait for a pattern, wait for something to happen, then jump in, red all the way down. First green candle after 1, 2, 3, 4 red candles. And then we have a 1075 line. These are big lines. So look at this. These are quarter. Look how wide. All the way up to 1175. So that's $1 gain right there. So if you're playing like 1200, 175, it's 1200 right there. Or if you're playing, let's say 800. If you're playing 800 for the only line, yeah, be 800. So that's not bad. If you're playing the $800 move, $800 gain, excuse me. All right, Saba. Keep this on high alert, Saba, next week. Look at this. This looks like missed this pattern that just broke out. You have a big open gap here. You have former move here was like 50 million spike. Now the low is getting higher, 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 higher each time. This is going to spike next week, maybe. I don't know. Who knows when exactly? It could even do one of these where it puts a fake. Yeah, I've seen this before. That it comes up, and then it like goes out of this like trend line down, and then this explodes up. Eventually, this will explode up. They'll have some sort of like COVID-19 news, some bull crap. So watch the break of 375 right here. And then this is going to rip up. This is a classic move. I'm watching these moves for years. So it's a strong, long play. All right, let's go back now to take a look at the SPY. Dow Jones was down today 182. Was down further than that. S&P was down 20, NASDAQ 98. Small caps minus 25. The VIX was even down 0.24, so it was a weird day. The VIX wasn't even up. It was, but didn't hold. Commodities, gold 1899, almost touched 1900. Silver 23. Crude oil 41.20, slightly up. So here's a SPY. We did this. We went above a previous high. I told you we're high up on stochastics. Anything when you're that high up is go down or sideways. And then we're going down now. We'll see next week what it brings. We're going to go further. The 13 MA held for now. We could get it to 20. We could break back up here and form a new high. Maybe stimulus news. We'll see. On the 4 hour. 4 hour, we broke that trend line a little bit. The weekly, that's not a good candle. It looks like sort of a high cross, high spinning top. We'll see on that. Monthly, not showing much. All right, Dow Jones. Dow Jones. Bring this up a little bit now. So high, lower, lower. What is this doing here? So if you draw this, really tough. These trend lines don't meet up. This is outside of this triangle. It looks like we're going down now. So this is another one caught between the 13 and 20 next week. If we go lower, you're looking at 26,000. And of course you have previous like that 61.8 retracement, that 25,000 level. And we'll see how far this goes though. But it looks like more downside. NASDAQ. Yeah, there's NASDAQ. You have a clear channel here. So you have touches 1, 2, 3, 4. And we broke down. That's a hollow candle though. It's a hollow red candle, which means usually it's a buy. It'll come right back up. At least up to here, we'll see. We'll probably get a bounce. This is as furthest as it's been on stochastics for like 49. We did that back in June. So we'll see where this goes to. 4 hour. Clearly broke the trend line here. And the weekly, we're out here. Look at the weekly. We're way up there, way up there. On the monthly, that's like a shooting star candle. So you have the high wick there. So we'll see what happens. If this is like a peak here, and we come back down. 4 hour, 2 hour, there's a 2 hour. So we're definitely outside. We will see what happens. Most likely get a bounce too, but will it be a fake bounce? We'll see. The VIX. All right, there's the VIX. And the VIX didn't hold today. It went way up to 28, but then they pushed it back inside this like triangle. Falling wedge, excuse me, is at 25. We'll see if this tries to get above again next week. See what happens there. So it's still volatility. UBXY. Big volume here. Still oversold. Bounce from the 13, so that's where it has to break, and then you're 20. Did it before, came back down. We'll see if this has more room to run. It looks like more volatility ahead, though. All right, let's take a look at some ETFs. DFIN didn't do well today. Boeing, I think they had some more orders canceled, stuff like that. So just had the breakout. Now we're doing this little move again. We're high up in stochastic, so this could fall back again. Intraday, huge short. From all the way to 13, now we're back to 1177. It's the weekly showing here. Weekly showing a cross. So it's indecision here. We're bouncing back and forth. Daily, showing that. Okay, so Boeing too. Let's go look at Boeing. Descending triangle. So the high keeps getting lower, lower, lower. We're at 170. 170's held so many times. DIN. And DIN has been extremely bullish. This was as high as 64.33 and as low as 34.31. Now we're at 42. So like I said, if something's oversold, it's not going to stay oversold that long. So we went down here. Then this was the move here, like, oh, it's still going down. Then we had some news or the market, and it's back. Look at that candle. Then the 3-day fake out. Now we're up again 4 days straight. So, and this is high on stochastics too. So, but it's bouncing off this 13 EMA nicely. We'll see. It's trying to curl under. We could get a bigger run here to 38.2 retracement, which will be about 49.50. Watch that. We've had runs before. See how that works out. Intraday was a nice long. Weekly. Anything weekly to 20 is clearly over to 13, and we're not even like reversing yet. So 13 is not above the 20. But if you draw your line here, it's trying to break above here. So see, you had the washout stochastics, you have the divergence now. You have here. And if this starts to bend up, you know, this is higher than here. So could be the next move. Now, and now put in a nice hammer today. So this is trying to hold its ground. Big candles here lower and then broke up for a nice gain with a $2 gain. UDAL came all the way on. Like I said, it's going to come back down to that trend line. Didn't fill this gap yet. High up stochastic, so we'll see what this does too. Could be further downside. SPXL, big high up in stochastics coming down. Now, how far are these going to go though? This goes the full range. This is going much lower. This will go back to 40. And so TNA, small caps, trying to get back to that 38.2 retracement. We clearly have a line here about 30. High up stochastics again. So another one. It's not looking that good at this point. FAS, very high up here too. This is trying to get to 23.6 fibs. Broke out. You know, we keep bounce off here. A lot of indecision now. A lot of choppy play here. Soxel. Draw this trend line. Yeah, if you draw this, this comes immediately together here. See these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 connection points. So will this go further? I mean, it's possible. It's in a downtrend right now. So we touched the 61.8 fibs, now it's going down. We'll see if this holds. That's a key level there. LABU, you know, biotech, this is really getting crushed. This was as high as 73.79, 73.94. Now we're going way down here. So this has room to run to the downside. LABU, Nougat. They're still above this. They're running red hot. The gold is red hot. So, I mean, anything can push this back down. You just have to watch. So, but it's still doing well. JNUG, same type of pattern. See right here, well above the 1320. It is going pretty good though. What else do we have down here? ERX. This is Energy Bulls. This is coming out of the falling wedge right here. These are tough. See, these ain't aren't great patterns here. You have your red and green, big candle, and then this came 3 days down, strange move. Another big green candle. I thought we're breaking out, and now we're just going back and forth. So it's very choppy to get a swing there. It's hard to read. All right, on the downside, S-Dallies are bearish. It's just trying to break above. It's very oversold here. So we've had these spikes before back in March. Here's May, a spike. And then we had one June to the end of June. So we might be due for another move up on the bear side. SDAL, or SPX, this is the same thing. This SPY has been so strong. This is in a clear downtrend. We'll see if we get another spike up too. It's oversold. Stochastics, SQQQ. The Nasdaq's been on fire. This has really come down. This was at 32, went to 6. Now this is as high as it's been here on Stochastic. See right here? So clear channel now, trying to curve up now. Is this a bigger move? Will the Nasdaq fall further? It looks like it. So we'll see what happens here on that. TZA. Oversold, trying to bounce up. This has room to move to the upside. So the overall market, we could be in for a further downside. We'll see. You have like stimulus news. They're battling back and forth. The economy, unemployment's still very high. Coronavirus is out of control here in America. It's pretty crazy at this point. So here's FAS. This is another one. Let me move myself. Go down. You had the big move here in June. We got a good bounce here, then a peak near, was it 19? We've been down now for a while. This is very oversold here. We could get a spike up in financials to the bear side. Stocks, dude, this has been a long run down from like 38 to 488, trying to get above the 20 EMA. The first time in a long time, really. Like it's trying to curve up. So these patterns all look the same to the bear side. Is there going to be something big in the market that we're going down again? Here's LABD. This is actually above your 20 EMA. If you go here to 30-minute, see this long trend down, tight, excuse me, tight wedge, and we broke out. See, tight, and then we had 4 candles in a row. This is high as it's been too since back in June. So this is interesting. Dust. Clearly, this is a falling wedge too. This is going to break out somewhat to the upside. It's not going to stay down there that long. Gold's on fire, but it'll need a pullback. Gold can't stay up there forever. Same thing with JDST, the miners. SEO. This is short oil. Been really down for a while. Trying to come back up to reach this little peak again. We'll see. If oil is going to go back down. SPXY. This isn't doing much. This is hugging at like 23.6 retracement level. Today, some spiky moves, double bottom bounce. ERY. This is Energy Bears, which this has your 60 level. Came all the way down in the 8th, and we bounced up. And now we have 48 right here. Now if this breaks the 48 level, very oversold right here. And then once they go up, I think we get a move here. Bearish oil. It's been down for a while. Had this spike in July. And now we're at the end of July. This could make a move up. So. All right, let's take a look at your cruise liners. Here is Carnival, not doing much. Really take this line out now. You're just hugging the bottom of this line, the bottom of the trend line. You had one spike, so RCL, a little bit different here. At your 50 level there, CCL. This is at 14, almost 15. So these could break out, but they're just so choppy right now. NCLH, Norwegian, this is at 14. Very oversold here. Just bounces, could bounce up to like 15, 16. Just like drifting at this point. We have move, a spike, but nothing doing here. REITs, MFA, you can see their haul. And IVR, not doing much at all. Casinos win. I like this even more too. Give this channel down. Take this out now. Get a big move down. Eventually, what goes down must go back up. Plus, it's penny stock or something. Here, moved up. You have double bottom, moved up again way above. And then we back down again. So this is probably going to look like test the 70 level again, or maybe a little below. Straight line down. And I like all these red candles. Usually get a big bounce from that. So I'll watch that next week. Let's win LBS. This is another one straight down here. Broke trend line. Getting really washed down, so watch that. ALK. Alaska Air Group. See, this is so chopped. Look down. Fake breakout. Just going between level really from 34 to like 38. Nothing doing now. HA. Hugging the bottom here. Fake breakout. Just messy charts. You can't get any read on these. Jet blue. Looked like we're starting to break out like this. Didn't happen. Now we're back down. So airlines are a mess. Cruise liners, cruise ships aren't doing anything. The REITs aren't doing anything. Then financial REITs. Casinos might bounce next week. So that is it for that. Restaurants, Den. This is holding now. This is holding this 23.6 fibs level. Looks like we want to get it this way. Above 9. We'll see what happens with this. That's on Den. Ruth. Hospitality. Coming out of the falling wedge. This is nice here. Turning up. We got to get about 23.6 fibs on Ruth. What other restaurants are there? BO, Bloomin' Brands. This came out too. This is touching a 38.2, 12. You have these candles here, these bigger candles. 12.43, you have 13. Stochastics is getting out there again. This is why this was tough for a swing in this one. You were getting back and forth, chop, green, red. You didn't know where the bottom was in this, so these are tough to swing. Unless you're just holding them, a while. Eventually they'll break up, and they did here, but it's a tougher long to play there. What other restaurants we have here? Starbucks, Lay. It's just kind of messy too. This doesn't equal anything. If you draw your line right here, it's sideways. But I like this for, looks like you might want to break up on play. Cake, Cheesecake Factory going up. It's way overextended though. Here's our RGB. I like this even more. Red Robin, straight down, sideways, sideways. You can see it's holding here. Your 8, your 7, 8 level. This could come up. we get a full stochastics move, maybe to 12. We'll see on this. It's like that more than the others. When I called McDonald's way back at this falling wedge, as soon as it hit like 182, and it's at 198 now. So that was an easier play to see. There's EAT coming up. DRI. Darden Restaurants. Chop sideways, trying to go up. This is a BJRI, BJ's Restaurant. Really broke away from the 1320 EMA. Taco, there's thin. What else we got? Airmark. All right, so RRGB looks pretty good on that. JMIA. What was it? Oxy. Let's take a look at the oil. Sideways, sideways. They're really not doing much here. They're not giving much. So oil's just like flat and just going nowhere. There's DVN. Too much chop here. Just too much chop on that. All right, so it's been a long video here. Had your day trades today. Some good day trades early, pre-market, like I said again. They're the big moves. They're going to make the bigger moves than during the day. Right now, that's what's happening. You're getting huge gainers pre-market. What else moves? Yeah, small caps. My top list again was all small caps. I'm looking at $1, $3, $1, 50 cents, 30. All the top gainers are pretty much under 20. So that is the theme lately. As the market's been chopped, the market's getting back and forth with your NASDAQ, excuse me, the Dow, S&P. Small caps really have been volatile. So they've been running hot for a while, and now they're cooling off somewhat. If you go back to the SPY. So we've made a strong run from March. This is like a V, pretty much. Not a true V, but it's close enough. And, you know, we reached highs. We had a full move here, another bounce here. Then this was all chop, and then took off from here. Then got down, like double bottomed. That was a fake out. We're getting lower. Nope. Went up here. And then we're now in this position here. So every time we've been this low, you know, we bounced. So up here, we didn't go full stochastics, 90 to 10. We came down to like 37-ish. It was a nice drop, and we bounced again. And look at this. See RSI and RSI. Stochastics running way hot at 90 plus. Then we moved down. We didn't touch above, this one went below like 25. We didn't get below 10. So where is this going to drop? Is this going to keep going? Is this going to go below, where are we at here? 320, is this going to go 315? We can get a 310. If we get a real severe drop, 300 again, probably. Because right now we retraced all the way back, almost all the way back. This isn't full on SPY, so I'm guessing here, you know, 20. I think we can break this. We'll break the 20. And then where are we going here? I don't know how severe the drop though. We'll see what happens with the 20. If we break past the 20, we could go anywhere from like 3 to 310. We'll see on that. All right, so that's it. So a lot of good plays again. Early pre-market, remember, for small caps. Intraday, you're getting still good moves like ASNA. EMAN was pretty good. GNCA, you're still caper. Still some good moves there for the long side. AMD wasn't bad. And then your ETFs, you know, back and forth. You can play them. Just depends on the day, depends on the action. like SQQQ, like the last 3 days on this, or 4 days, have been pretty good. This is as high as it's been. You get a 30-minute, and it double bottomed it all the way down 1, 2, and it broke out. So this has been good the last 2 days. This doesn't give much range though, because it's so beaten down. It might get like 50, 60 cents, but that's because the NASDAQ's so strong. So that's where we stand right now. And that is it. And we will probably have more big time small caps move Monday morning. Just be ready. That's how you're playing it, and get ahead of everyone. Because most people, you go back, ENT, most people are waiting for this in the morning. Oh, I'm up 9:30, and look right here. They're trying to get long. Nope. The move already moved from 2 to 6. It's a triple. That's a triple right there. So, and it fades. ASNA. See, this is even here. The move didn't happen yet. Move from 65 didn't go to here. It was all within here pre-market. So you have a better chance for this to build up and break out. So you just notice by these charts, you see them so many times. All right, that's it. Please subscribe to the channel and like, and we will be back for more in the future. Be safe.